Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You may also find us on television, Channel 182, on Charter Communications and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Again, thank you so much for watching Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, and that's on television, but you can also find us on all the social media sites, and we appreciate you watching. So you can also send an email if you have any suggestions, something, just a topic you would like for me to discuss, anything you'd like for me to do a little research on. I'll be glad to do that for you. You can send an email to donna@donnasedge.com. That's donna@donnasedge.com. Okay, so one topic that was sent in was by Janice, and this was about Halloween safety tips. We'd like to go ahead and have those tips right now, Janice says. I'm glad to put those together for you. So what I found, this is through safesmartliving.com. safesmartliving.com. And this is a list of 58 safety tips, and this was designed in 2023 for adults, pets, kids, statistics, you get it all. So it's going to be a whole bunch of information given to you. So I just love cute pictures. I just think that's so cute, those kids, and they're getting ready for Halloween, and they're getting ready to have a whole lot of fun. But we want to make sure these kids are okay. We want to make sure that they have all the safety, and I remember a long time ago when it was my time to go Halloween. And so, safety, always out there. There's always somebody who wants to try to scare little kids. Some kids can take it, some can't. Now, I could always look kind of forward to it. Maybe that was weird in me as a child, but I don't know, I always loved Halloween. But then kids, a little bit later, they're introduced to these scary slasher movies, about Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis was a nut, and she was in a lot of movies as well. And it kind of took some of the fun out of Halloween for some of the kids in the newer generations. But let's go ahead and talk. So I've got 8 ways to stay safe on Halloween. So let's talk about those. We'll get into more specifics, but let's go ahead and get started on, there's 8 of them. Okay, number 1, don't keep candles burning in jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, or those luminaries as well. Man, I can see that as being a danger, especially if it's windy outside. And you never know in the South about Halloween. It's either going to be so freezing cold you can't stand it, or it's going to be hot that you can't stand to wear the mask and the costumes. So consider using those battery-operated flames. Another thing you can do too, if you're just going ahead and get maybe some of those lights you can get at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, and just leave some of those, the top part of the stem that goes down into the ground. People use them in landscaping. Leave those out. Leave them out all day long, and they're going to shine about all night long. So, that way you don't have to worry about batteries either. Okay, number 2, you might also opt for safer pumpkin carving by painting them or decorating them with stickers instead of using a knife to do it, because kids always want to touch in it. They always want part of the game, okay? Number 3, look for flame-resistant costumes, wigs. A lot of women have short hair and they're not used to wearing long hair. And so they may get a wig that's really long hair and get close to a flame or whatever. And if you're not used to long hair, it's kind of different, okay? That's why I have to pull mine back when I'm working with crafts. Okay, let's see. You want to just make sure that you don't trip and get fallen. Oh, and also dresses and outfits. Some of those are a little bit long. Like you may wear a dress look like the lady in the Addams Family, and they're long. And you could trip, so just make sure you walk around in it and kind of hang out in it just a little bit, just to make sure that you're used to something being that long. Okay, so I don't want you tripping on stuff. Okay, now number 4, if applying face paint, you need to be careful around the eyes and test for skin allergies before you use it. That's extremely important for kids who never wear makeup, and maybe your husband wants to wear makeup and put something maybe look like a skeleton or something. Just make sure that you don't use a whole lot of it around the eyeballs. Okay, now number 5, avoid using contact lenses that alter the look or color of your eyes, okay, as they can be hazardous to your eye health. I knew several people who would wear the colored contacts, and you would look at them, they could wear them to work, and you would say, "You look different, I can't figure out what it is." they would put different color eye tags. I think it's kind of cool looking, but now the ones that have the eyes looking like really weird like, those freak me out. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Using a flashlight, LED light, or apply reflective tape to your costume to see and be seen by others, including cars. Okay. And make sure your kids know to stay together in a group. That's another thing. Okay, if you wear a mask, you need to test for full visibility out of the eye holes and proper breathability. I remember the old ones that we had back in the 1960s when I was a little kid and we would go trick-or-treating, and they were the plastic mask, and sometimes I did Casper the Friendly Ghost or whatever, but there were these little masks, and they were plastic, and they had this little piece of elastic on the back that would stay to your head. And some of those, sometimes they made the eyes like too small. Of course, I've got big eyes anyway, but they would make the eyes too small. So parents really pay attention to that. So if your child tries on a mask, even if you do, and the mask is too small, just get a pair of scissors and make the eyes bigger. Okay, make the opening so your kids can see out those. It's really important because you got to think about, they may be walking out into a street, and they may not see a car coming because they can't see, because again the holes in the eyes are just not big enough. So really be careful about that. Now 8, if your costume requires a sword or a weapon, do not swing it around, and keep the pointed part away from yourself and others. Now if it's a little plastic sword or something like that, you're okay, but sometimes grown-ups they want it to be like the real sword, and you just must be careful about that. Okay. Now let's talk about the top 4 safety tips for kids. Oh my goodness, does that not make you hungry? There's Twix, and by the way, parents, let your kids have the candy, okay? Don't be digging in their boxes or whatever for their food. Okay, so let's talk about the top 4 Halloween candy safety tips for kids. Okay, never let them go out inside a home to accept candy. And I know some well-meaning people, but you have to really be safe these days. Okay, so never let your child go inside a home to accept candy, and keep all the little ones supervised at all time. Never let minors go out trick-or-treating by themselves. Please don't do that, especially with this thing that's going on where people are kidnapping kids, and it's called human trafficking. Really be careful, because I've got a feeling the lunatics are going to be out. Number 2, make sure you do inspect all the candy before they eat the candy. Check the contents of their bags and their buckets for choking hazards, and make sure candy is all properly sealed. Look for little holes, like if it's in packaging. Make sure that there are no little tiny suspicious holes in there. Somebody could get a needle and inject something into the candy to the kids. Okay, if it's people you still have to be careful, because they could have bought it in town. Some freak could have done something. Okay, make sure all the candy is properly sealed. Throw away anything that's been opened or is not packaged. Now, it's best to wait until you get home to indulge, so you can get better quality light and properly inspect each item. Just don't let them eat it until you get home. Okay, now have an allergy-safe Halloween. So you want to review each label for any potentially harmful ingredients. That could be anything like peanuts, tree nuts, maybe dairy or gluten. Okay, number 4, brush your teeth before you go to bed. Nobody wants to suffer from a toothache from eating too much candy or chocolate. Okay, now let's talk about 12 Halloween safety tips for adults. Yeah, we got to have safety tips too. Okay, so when trick-or-treating, arm your home alarm and lock the doors so your valuables are safe while you're out. You can also use the app to check your security camera for any suspicious activity. I loved it. We were on a trip to San Antonio, and so we have 2 houses. Mother lives in another house. And so to be completely safe, she was okay, we always have cameras anyway. So we have cameras facing all directions, and then also inside the house. So every time Mother would walk and go to the mailbox, we would get an alert to show. You'd see her walking towards the mailbox. And so just do that. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and it's just safe, and it just gives you a whole lot of safety, and you don't have to worry so much. You want to have fun when you're out. Okay, now stay in neighborhoods that are familiar to you too. Okay, not just the kids, but to you too. Use the buddy system and avoid letting anyone go out alone. Start early and don't stay out too late. Okay? Now don't run between houses. Only cross the street at corners or walks, and look both ways before crossing the street. You need to do that anyway. Use only sidewalks and clearly lit areas, avoiding yards and streets where possible, whenever possible, and that way you won't trip or maybe ruin any costume or somebody's yard decor. Okay, plan your route ahead of time to stay in the same side of the street versus zigzagging back and forth. So walk up one street, down the other street. Don't zigzag. First of all, that takes up too much time. You want to get to every house possible, right? So just don't do the zigzag system. Okay, don't split up, and plan to have a meeting spot just in case everybody gets lost or somebody gets lost. Only approach homes that have a porch light on or are obviously accepting trick-or-treaters. Some older folks don't want to accept trick-or-treaters, so they won't have their lights on. So don't go. Don't knock on the doors. You never know what might be waiting on you, okay? It could be a trick. And then a lot of folks are out at parties and stuff like that. Don't go messing around somebody's home, okay? If the lights are out, that means don't go. Okay, double check your shoelaces. Make sure they're tied, and wear shoes that are easy to walk in. Wear sneakers instead of boots with heels. Just be a lot easier. Now, if you have bad weather, and bad weather is in the forecast, consider staying home for a virtual party with neighbors or with friends. Okay, let's go into a commercial break, and we're going to slip right back in just a few minutes. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success, and now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. Okay, it's not too early to think about Halloween. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182, on Charter Communications and Find It Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We're talking about Halloween safety tips. So save this show, okay? Link it somewhere, however you're watching us. If it's any of the social media sites, it's going to be super easy to do. And make sure you go back over these over and over again and check these out, okay? Now, we're going to talk about 5 Halloween home security tips. Okay, now whether you plan to hit the streets you're going to stay in, there's some things you want to keep in mind. So get one of those smart doorbells or outdoor security camera with night vision to see who's at the door before you open it. Okay, this is extremely important. Now be careful using sharp knives to carve pumpkins. So keep a firm grip on the blade with your forefinger and thumb, and consider using pumpkin carving tools. They have those at Walmart and several different stores. Check the batteries in your smoke detectors and test them before you light any candles, okay, just to make sure, okay? Also, turn on lights so they know you're home and accepting guests, or turn them off if you aren't, or if you're afraid or if you run out of candy. No, there's nothing worse than kids coming up there and you got to disappoint them by telling them you ran out of candy. Keep the entrance well illuminated so people can see the pathway to your door. See, look, like we have a curved pathway. Okay, if we don't keep it illuminated, people aren't going to know that. Okay, so be careful on that. Okay, 7 ways to safely trick or treat. So let's talk about those. Now, even though COVID is somewhat under control now, you never know when there's going to be an outbreak. So it's important to prevent the spread of germs as we head into the winter months, cold and flu season. I get more concerned about flu than I do COVID. Okay, number 1, ensure everyone has a face covering such as like a pumpkin or something like that. If it's someone who has asthma, I don't know what to say to you because I have asthma. I can't wear it. I would just have to stay at home. Okay, go out only with your immediate family members. Okay, if you or a child is not feeling well, you do need to stay home. Don't go out and about. Number 4, leave candy on the doorstep in a bowl and put a sign up that encourages them to take a piece of candy. You got those that are going to take the whole bowl, so you just put a sign out there and tell them they're being watched. Okay, that just kind of assures people. Okay, keep creative with making a sign that says, "Don't be a witch. Take only 1 bag of candy per child." 1 bag. Okay. Put out a bottle of hand sanitizer next to the bowl of candy, but don't expect that all kids will use it. Number 7, make sure you hand out individually wrapped candy to prevent the spread of germs. Better yet, put candy in a mini party favor bag and place 1 bag at a time. You can just kind of look and see if there are 5 kids, just put 5 bags of candy out there. So each one for each bag, each kid. Watch through the window or your doorbell camera, and when it's gone, then you can replenish it. But I like the idea is you just look out the window and just knock on the window and say hi, and then you'll say 5. So open up the door real quick and throw 5 bags, little bags of candy out there for kids. That's just the safest way to do it. Plus the kids that are going to take like all 5, there's only 1. You know, sometimes people don't watch out for anybody but themselves. So you kind of have to do that. Okay, we have some statistics right here. And this is about Halloween safety. And so here we go. This one right here. Safety statistics. Now these stats aren't meant to scare you from having a good time, okay? But this Halloween, but just knowing what's out there and knowing what to be aware of is going to make everything fun. It'll be a safe Halloween. Okay, number 1, children are more than twice as likely to be hit by vehicles on Halloween night. Follow the street safety tips to reduce the chance of an accident. You just got to watch kids. They get all excited and they're ready to go. They see their friends maybe on the other side of the street and they want to go see them. Just, make sure you're with them. Don't just turn kids loose in the neighborhood. Don't do that, please. Okay, number 2. Most child pedestrian accidents happen between 6 and 7. I don't know if that's when it starts getting darker or what. But anyway, just be aware while they're out all through the time that they're Halloween tricking. I'll get that in just a minute. I'm trying to get so much said. Okay, number 3. The largest spike in tree and nut allergies admissions to the emergency room is on Halloween night. One thing, they're getting that food and they're not watching, they're not looking at the labels, they're not watching, and you're not watching. So don't let them eat until they get home, okay? That's just the best way to do it. Double check the ingredients in all your treats before allowing your kids to enjoy them. Now listen to this one. This is number 4, and this is surprising. 70% of parents don't go trick-or-treating with their children. What? Why not? You need to go with your kids when they're trick-or-treating. They take the night off and stay with your kids at all times, especially if they're age 12 and under, okay? Now get this one. Now guys, okay, number 5, 85% of adults bring alcohol to a Halloween party. And we know parties can be more fun with alcohol. They're not really. You want to have fun and remember what you did, okay? But since this night is all about your kids, consider a non-alcoholic alternative instead. Okay, here's number 5. 5 ways to stay street safe. So let's talk about these one by one. Okay, and this is really important. Number 1, make sure you wear light or reflective colors. You can also use reflective tape or stickers on costumes and bags. That's a good thing to do. Carrying those glow sticks, you can get them at the Dollar Tree for like nothing, and it's so worth it to get them. Or flashlights, and if you carry flashlights, make sure that the batteries are good in them, okay? We like to use the rechargeable batteries. But if you have rechargeable batteries, make sure they have it running all the way down, because then you're going to have to wait, and then the kids are going to get really mad at you because they got to wait until you charge them back up again. So make sure you test all this stuff out the night before, okay? and that's important. Reflective clothing, again, is a good thing. If you don't have reflective clothing, you can get streamers, and but if you get streamers, make sure you get the ones that are silver, better than the gold ones, because they're going to really reflect back there as well. Okay, let's see. Wear light clothing, we said that. Wear reflective, make sure you carry those little glow sticks or flashlights. And number 2 is important. Test your costume and make sure it fits. Make sure it isn't too long, because that can cause all kinds of trips and falls. Keep pets in rooms that are secure and away from windows at the front of the house, where they can bark and scare off trick-or-treaters and maybe even spook your pup. Okay, be careful there. Number 4, if you're driving, make sure your headlights are on so you can spot kids. Also, drive slowly and stay alert. Okay, because I'm just telling you, kids get excited. I get excited, and I'm not even a kid. I may forget and think, well, I see one of my friends across the street. I may do that. Your kids are going to do that as well. So just, be really careful there. Okay, number 5, if you're wearing masks, make sure they fit properly and don't restrict your eyesight. Again, the trick that you can use about the mask, if it's one of those little plasticky, even if it's a rubber mask, going ahead and make sure the eyes are where they can see, because I think that's probably where most of the accidents happen. The kids are they're having fun, they're playing, and so they're looking kind of sideways, and they think there's not a car coming, but they can't see. Think about a big rig truck. Okay, there's a big blind spot where they can't see. These masks are the same way, so just make sure there are no blind spots up there. Okay, we've got a good couple of minutes, so I've got some more time I can talk to you. I'm going to go back to these are the 58 Halloween safety tips 2023. If something comes up about COVID or something like that, that could kind of ruin the whole thing. But let me tell you what you can do. If you live in a neighborhood, maybe you are new to the neighborhood, you just don't really know anybody. Usually a church will do what they call trunk or treat. And some businesses do that too. I know around Scottsboro, they always have a trunk or treat for the kids there. That's a safe place to go. But a trunk or treat is going to be really safe, and you don't have to worry so much. And I'm going to tell you what, the city of Henniger, I think it was, the Henniger, they did something really awesome last year. And so they had this, where a bunch of people, even businesses and churches came. And so it was a safe place for the kids to go. There was a lot of light out there. There was lots of cops around, so everybody could see what was happening. And so they let the kids go trick-or-treat there as well. And that was a long line, but it was worth it. And think about the gasoline you're saving. Gas prices are extremely high right now. And so if you go to something like that, like the Henniger, and I think Geraldine probably does, a lot of our small towns will do something like that. Look on their Facebook pages for any kind of announcements. And you can always depend on the churches to do it. Churches are always going to have something. So you're using less gas. You're having to worry less about the kids. You're going to a strange house. You don't know the people. Plus, if you're new in the neighborhood, it's the thing to do. Just go ahead and take them to those areas. I think some people use, like every town, they'll go to Henniger and then Ider, and then they'll go to Rainsville and then to Fife and then to Geraldine, make their rounds. But that's okay. It's a safe thing to do for the kids. And that's what comes, safety first, okay? My name is Donna. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IAC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. I'm going to keep those kids and you safe out there this Halloween. So look back on this again. And if you have any tips, if you're going ahead and send those to me, I'll be glad to go ahead and get those out there. You can send an email to Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com.